Today we're going to be talking about something really important and, let's be honest, kind of complicated. Why are people leaving Canada? You hear so much about folks trying to immigrate here, but lately, there's been this kind of undercurrent. A quiet movement of people heading out. It's being called the new exodus, and, well, as someone who makes videos about the world, it's pretty fascinating to dig into. So we're going to be looking at some of the factors driving this trend. We're talking economics, healthcare, even the weather. Because the decision to leave a place you once thought was your future, that's a big deal and it's a story worth telling. Welcome to our channel. Today we're diving into a significant trend that's reshaping the landscape of migration in Canada. Stay tuned as we explore the key reasons behind the new exodus. Okay, so let's talk about the elephant in the room, or maybe the moose in the room, given that we're talking about Canada, the cost of living. And look, this isn't just Canada's problem, right? All over the world, people are feeling the squeeze. But in major Canadian cities, it's gotten really intense. We're talking about rent that eats up half your paycheck, grocery bills that make you question your sanity. It's tough. And for newcomers, especially those who maybe haven't had time to build up savings or find high-paying jobs, it can feel impossible. Imagine you arrive in Canada full of hope, ready to build a new life. You've probably poured your heart and soul, not to mention your savings, into getting here. And then you're hit with the reality of just how expensive it is to simply exist. Suddenly the dream of a better life starts to feel out of reach. You're working multiple jobs just to make ends meet. And even then, you're struggling to save, to send money back home, to actually, live a little. It's enough to make anyone wonder if they made the right choice. And here's the thing. This isn't just about being able to afford avocado toast or fancy lattes. This is about basic necessities. This is about being able to afford a safe place to live, to put food on the table, to access healthcare when you need it. When those things become out of reach, it's no wonder that some people start to question whether Canada is truly the land of opportunity they thought it was. And it's heartbreaking because for many, migrating to Canada is a once-in-a-lifetime decision, a leap of faith into the unknown. One of the biggest draws of Canada is its promise of opportunity, right? The idea that if you work hard, you can achieve your dreams. But here's the thing about dreams. Sometimes they require the right environment to flourish. And for migrants in certain fields, that environment can be surprisingly hard to find in Canada. We're talking about skilled professionals, doctors, engineers, teachers, who arrive with years of experience, impressive qualifications, and a whole lot of enthusiasm. But then they hit a wall. Their credentials might not be recognized here, or the licensing process is long and expensive. Suddenly they find themselves stuck in survival jobs, their skills and passions going untapped. Imagine this. You're a brilliant surgeon in your home country. You've saved countless lives, but in Canada, you're stuck driving a cab or working as a cashier. That's not just frustrating, it's a loss for everyone. Canada loses out on the contributions of these talented individuals, and the individuals themselves, well, they lose years of their careers, their sense of purpose, and frankly, their dignity. It's like being stuck in a waiting room, your dreams on hold while life passes you by. And the longer that wait, the louder the question becomes, is it worth it? Because at a certain point, the sacrifice starts to outweigh the potential reward. Okay, let's talk about the Canadian immigration system. A labyrinth of paperwork, deadlines, and constantly shifting requirements. Even for someone like me, a guy who basically reads for a living, it's overwhelming. And for people navigating it from across the world, often under immense pressure, it can feel like an insurmountable obstacle course. Canada has this points-based system, which in theory is supposed to be fair and objective. But in practice, it can feel like a giant game of chance. You're awarded points based on your age, education, work experience, language skills, and the competition is fierce. So you find yourself jumping through hoops, taking language tests, getting your credentials assessed, all while trying to maintain some semblance of a normal life in your home country. And then, there's the waiting, the endless waiting. Waiting for your application to be processed, waiting for an interview, waiting for a decision that could change your life. It's emotionally draining, financially draining, and frankly, it can be dehumanizing. You're reduced to a number, a file on a desk, instead of a human being with hopes and dreams and fears. And the worst part, there's no guarantee of success. You could do everything right, have a perfect application, and still be rejected. And for some people, after years of navigating this system, the emotional toll, the uncertainty, it just becomes too much. Canadians are rightly proud of their universal healthcare system. It's a beautiful idea. Everyone deserves access to quality medical care regardless of their income. But like any system, it has its flaws. And for newcomers, those flaws can be particularly stark. One of the biggest challenges is wait times. Canada has a shortage of doctors and nurses, which means long waits for appointments, specialists, even emergency care. Now, imagine you're new to the country, you don't know the system, you might not speak the language fluently, and you're facing a health crisis. It's terrifying. And then there's the issue of navigating the system itself. Figuring out which doctor to see, what's covered, what's not. It can be a confusing and frustrating experience, especially when you're already feeling vulnerable. Now, to be fair, Canadians deal with these challenges too. But for immigrants, who are often starting from scratch, building a new life, these hurdles can feel insurmountable. And when you factor in the high cost of private healthcare, which many newcomers rely on while they wait for their provincial coverage to kick in, it adds another layer of stress to an already difficult situation. The loneliness of longing. Moving to a new country is exciting. It's an adventure, but it can also be incredibly isolating. You're leaving behind your family, your friends, your culture, your entire support system. And building a new one from scratch? Well, that takes time, energy, and a whole lot of emotional resilience. Imagine this. You're sitting in your new apartment thousands of miles from home. It's a Friday night, the city outside is buzzing with life, but you're alone. You miss your mom's cooking, you miss joking with your friends, you even miss the sound of your grandma nagging you. That feeling of loneliness, of longing for familiarity, it can be overwhelming. And while Canada is a diverse country, it can still be challenging for newcomers to find their footing, to connect with people who understand their experiences, their culture, their language. It's easy to feel like an outsider, like you're always on the periphery. And when you're already facing challenges with work, housing, healthcare, that feeling of isolation can be amplified. Winter is coming and staying and staying. Okay, I know we can't talk about Canada without talking about the weather. And look, I love a good snow day as much as the next person. But Canada takes winter to a whole new level. We're talking months of sub-zero temperatures, snowstorms that can bring cities to a standstill, and a whole lot of darkness. For many newcomers, especially those coming from warmer climates, this can be a shock to the system. It's not just the physical discomfort, though, that's real. It's the emotional impact. Seasonal affective disorder is a real thing, and it can hit newcomers particularly hard. Imagine this. You step outside and the air is so cold it hurts to breathe. The sun sets at 4 p.m. You haven't felt its warmth on your skin in weeks. Everything is covered in snow. The world feels quiet, still, almost harsh. It's a far cry from the sunny beaches or vibrant markets you might be used to. And while Canadians have had years, generations even, to adapt to this, for newcomers it can feel like another hurdle, another challenge to overcome in an already challenging journey. The pull of home. At the end of the day, migration is about more than just economics or job opportunities. It's about family, it's about connection. It's about that deep, primal need to be close to the people you love, the places that feel like home. And sometimes, no matter how hard you try to build a new life in Canada, the pull of home, the longing for the familiar, it just becomes too strong to ignore. Maybe your parents are getting older, and you want to be closer to them. Maybe you miss your siblings, your cousins, the chaotic joy of family gatherings. Or maybe you just miss the feeling of belonging, of being surrounded by people who understand you, who share your history, your language, your inside jokes. That feeling of home, it's powerful. And for some, it's a feeling that even the promise of a better life in Canada can't replace. It's a heartbreaking decision to leave a place you once saw as your future, to say goodbye to the dreams you held, the sacrifices you made. But it's a decision that many are making, driven by a force more powerful than any economic indicator or immigration policy, the enduring, unbreakable bond of family and home. Outro: a conversation worth having. So there you have it. The new Exodus isn't about one simple answer, one easy explanation. It's a complex issue, woven from threads of economic hardship, systemic barriers, cultural differences, and that deep human longing for connection and belonging. If you found this video insightful, hit that like button and share it with your friends. It's a conversation that needs to happen. What are your thoughts on the new Exodus? What do you think could be done to address these challenges? Let me know in the comments below because these stories matter. The stories of those who leave and those who stay, they shape who we are as a country, as a global community. Thanks for watching. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content. Let us know in the comments what you think about the new exodus, and what could be done to address these challenges.